All right, mic check, mic check. More Than Masters podcast, host main, of course. Across me, I got a special guest, Miss Karen Gordon. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
How you been? I feel like I ain't seen you in a minute.
I'm good. It's been a while though.
Yeah, especially in this kind of setting. I seen you out though all the time, plants
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but just not
Yeah. I'll be out there trying to, see what's on clearance at the spot,
just like all the customers. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
nobody shop the regular plant table. Everybody go straight to the clearance whack.
I go straight to clear.
At least on our side of town. I don't know other
Yeah. No,
places
I
get.
go on all the garden spots. I go straight to the clearance racks. So I'm
Well,
all about that.
before I get to the episode, I want to say this episode is sponsored by Quint Essential Designs, the art of remodeling, custom kitchens, bathrooms, and more. Located at 2745 Tobacco Road, Hefzibah, Georgia. Call 706-469-9565. Ask for Quinn to get your free estimate. All right. So just in case you took over a granny house and it looked good in '84, it probably looking good no more. You know what I'm saying? So go get that granite, that quartz, that laminate, custom cabinet, get all
All
that
of
done.
that.
All right.
All of that.
Now that's out the way. So how have you
Yeah.
been?
I've been good. I've been good. I've been wonderful. I've been, trying to get it together, keep it together.
Oh, let me give you one of these cards too, because you got the whole publication going on now and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you kind of Big Willie.
That's right. Yeah.
That was the street sustainably. So
You know what? I love it. I love. We moved into our house a year ago this week, and we had some work done, and we need more work done because we are like in the woods.
that's
So
you in Hefzibah?
yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy town. You didn't know that?
Well, we're in a neighborhood. We're not far from here.
Nah, Hefzibah. Every year they got a wild story, but it's I'm gonna pray for you. Wish the best.
Thank
So
you.
let's let's just start. But if you know how to work. You've seen the episode before. Always start from the beginning with somebody. Even though I interviewed you before,
Yeah.
that was with a guest though. So I want to kind of take it back. So let's kind of talk about your upbringing. You know where you're from, originated,
Yeah.
what lab they made you in.
Yes. So I'm from the metropolis of Waynesboro, Georgia.
What that? Hold on. What do you mean metropolis? What does that mean?
It's a big city. It's a bird dog capital of the world, right? And so that's where I'm from. We moved from the metropolis of Waynesboro to Richmond County when I was 8, I believe. So, but we've always been in South Augusta. Always. We lived in Apple Valley. Whoop, 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 whoop. Apple
Okay.
Valley. Went to Butler. Graduated from. Went to Davidson for a little while. Graduated from Butler.
So,
We were in
what
a
made you
band.
switch though? What made you go from Davidson to Butler? Like, wow.
I wanted to be in a marching band. So our band, Harkness Butler was the band director at Butler High School. And I had the opportunity to go to Davidson to do fabulous things there. But Davidson, wasn't the space when I was there. It wasn't the place that it was now.
What is it
and-
now?
Right now, it's the number one. It's one of the number one high schools in the state.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But then it was still a magical place. But it was a diamond in the rough, right? So it was in now I lived in Apple Valley, so my entire universe was centered around Apple Valley, Gordon Highway, Deansbridge Road. It was all South Augusta,
Right.
Right. I didn't know that anything outside of South Augusta existed, with the exception of like downtown.
Okay.
Right. So Walton Way and West Augusta and all that stuff, that didn't exist to me. So it didn't exist for me. So I had the opportunity to go to the magnet school.
No, you good.
Had the opportunity to do that, and that was wonderful. We had dance and drama and all those other things at Davidson, and we were bused to Davidson from our zone school, and it was cool. That was cool. It was great, but I really wanted to be in the marching band at my zone school. I wanted to go to school with people from my neighborhood.
Right.
I wanted to go to football games. I wanted to march in the marching band. I couldn't do that at Davidson.
Still can't, right?
Still can't. Right.
Every year, they're like, nope.
Right. And that was like super important to me when I was in high school. I really wanted that. And so even though I had the opportunity to go to this arts magnet school, I wanted to, that wasn't as important to me as being able to march in the marching band, go to the Peach Bowl, marching band was like the most important thing. Marching band, and then the fact that my band director, Mr. Butler, was looking out for us. You know, he was like family. He was like the father that I had. My dad wasn't involved in our lives, so he looked out for us. He looked out for my older brothers. He got my older brothers scholarships to go to college. You know. So
what was it? Not to cut you off, but like, was it one of them things where like, was it the faculty played a big part at Butler for you? Like, them caring more, or feeling like maybe not caring like caring, but caring.
Right.
Caring more.
That's what it was. We had that, and it was just different. It was different because we were zoned for that school. I don't really know how to explain it.
It's so good. One time for Butler being better than Davidson, man. Come on, turn it.
No, it was really.
You don't hear that often.
No, it was legit that. I mean, and being in that space, I went to Davidson for 2 years, right, 8th and 9th grade, and I was like, I'm done with it because I really. I mean, David, like I said, Davidson wasn't what it is now. It was still fabulous. It was a magical space. It was very much like Fame from the TV series. I don't know if y'all old enough to remember that.
Nah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Whatever. But
clap on Fame now.
Right. But it was like, Fame cost, and it was some really unique stuff. I don't know if I can say shit on the spot.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Okay. So it was
just don't happen to take it out.
Okay, cool. It was really unique. It was a really unique kind of thing. But it wasn't home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't a neighborhood. It was like, it's cool to be able to go over there and do all that kind of stuff. But my shit is South Augusta, is Apple Valley, is Butler High School all day. It was Mr. Butler. It was, the band stuff, the marching band stuff, the football games. That's really the reason why I asked my mom to let me come back to Butler.
What made you go to that school in the first place, like Davidson?
It was because it was for opportunity.
You wanted to?
Yeah, I wanted to.
So how they sell it to you? Because I know you just didn't wake up and say, "Let me go to Davidson." That's kind of wild.
No, it was an art school, and so it was just an opportunity for kids who were artistic, to check this thing out. That was my perception of it. I mean, I was in 8th grade.
Do you think over time maybe like they should have kind of brought those kind of key element that people like of high school to that school, like a sports team or things like that? Because a lot of people choose not to go to that school for that reason. Right there, they don't have sports, and people like playing sports in high school.
Yes, but you know what? I think that I don't think sports really came into play then, but and now, there was never like, I mean, I think some of the parents are right now considering being able to have their kids who are athletes who go to Davidson to be able to participate in other
play for another school, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild. Like, just get a team. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I only say that because, like, you said something about the band and stuff like that, but I know they don't send around sports, but the band be at the football games, right?
Yeah.
So you would need, how I would think you need football a little bit just to kind of get the band. And you know, once you bring that aspect of it, I think you get cheerleaders, you get other stuff that people do like to do in high school. I mean, you got people that leave high school and don't cheer again after that ever. But in high school, it's fun to do because it's like an extracurricular. That's what they call it, right? That's what they call it. Yeah.
That's correct.
Extracurricular activity, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, I think that you should have more. I know it's an art school, but I mean, it's some people there that just want to do extra stuff too. You can be gifted and still do other stuff. You know, you don't have to be gifted and just read books all day. I'm not trying. I know that sounds wild.
That was why you said read books all day.
Yeah, shout out to Davidson.
But no.
I'm just saying.
But no, that's cool too. I think that all of it is. I'm having.
But you take your time in if you want to, because you sound like me right now, and I'm trying to be too cool, and I'm too cool to cough.
Yeah.
I know you don't have COVID. You walk in here, you be pretty fine. So you ain't gonna throw a COVID joke at you.
I'm like too cool to cough.
It's probably Aquafina. That's probably it. You're probably drinking the wrong kind of water. I should have.
Should give me some shit.
Hey Juan, what you be saying? The water that supposed to have?
You should give me some out the doggone faucet.
That's what it's faucet water.
Out the spigot.
You need to be home. I know that.
You know what I'm saying? Out the spigot.
Apple Valley water. That's what I should have got.
Apple Valley water.
Urban water, man. I'm tripping, man. I don't know what's going. She want that commercial water, man.
I need some South Augusta water.
She needs some extracurricular activities in that water.
But yeah, I think like because we weren't really doing the whole. I mean, I think I hear what you're saying about the whole sports thing, but I was like, I've always been like, I ain't paying attention to sports. Period.
Right.
I'm like I watch the weekend stuff, the Friday night football stuff, right? And I'm like, why are we like? And this is just me. I'm like, we got the athletes, we got all that kind of stuff. We need to be spending that kind of energy and that effort on artists. We need to whether it's a marching band, and it sounds kind of crazy, but yeah, for artists, for musicians. I'm not just talking about like marching. You spend the same kind of effort and energy and airtime on bands, and marching bands, and whatever. But no, I'm like, if you got these things on the TV, you got the athlete, the scholar athlete of the year. No, you got the scholar artist of the week, of the whatever. So, and that, I know we're going to talk about the paper in a minute, but that's part of the reason why, one of the many reasons why we decided to start doing this publication is to highlight creative people, whether it's music, dance, drama,
poetry,
visual art, spoken word, poetry, photography, because sports and athletics gets like all of the shine.
You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
All of the shine.
You're right.
But and so when, at the end of the, this time of year, you always see these students who are like, they're signing, they got the hat and everything. They had this huge thing.
News coverage and all of that stuff.
Everything. And they're like, I'm going to Clemson. I got the hat on and everything. I'm like, well, why we can't do this for musicians? Why we can't do this for, I play the vibes. I got a scholarship for or whatever. I sing opera. This is not what you asked me, but
I like that.
Yeah.
But we got a $25,000 scholarship to the University of Miami. So Zanaya Billups got that for singing classical music. Why? How is it that we can really, highlight that and encourage young people and older people to pursue the arts, pursue creativity?
Yeah, I get what you're saying too, because and what you're describing, it's like if you don't see it, you're not thinking about it either. So
right.
A lot of times, especially us, like me, I'm gonna use you one as an example. Being black kids in the city, you only see certain things being highlighted. So you think, what's the thing we use? I say we as like black men. They say you only make it out the hood if you play basketball, you rap, or you sell drugs.
Yep.
Like that's the thing we see glorified.
That's the big three.
That's the
Yeah.
big three.
That's the big three.
Wait a minute.
I like that one. Give me That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's just the truth. I'm just saying like
No,
that's the
it's-
grand scheme of things. That everything we
it's-
see being praised.
That's real. That's real because my kids, my old, I got several 100,000 children, and
Shout
by
out to
that I
you.
mean like 4. But but the 3 boys that I gave birth to, they are my middle boy. He was all basketball. That's all he wants to do is basketball. I mean, that's all he wanted to do. And now my little one, he wants to do basketball. He wants to do sports too. Even though I'm a musician, I'm like, dude. I mean, like for real.
Am I not good enough for you to
I'm
pick up
like,
this?
Who felt like
I'm like, hello, I'm right here. I'm like, I'm right here. I'm right
Get out
here.
the way. Get out the way. ESPN.
Yeah. He's like, no, sis, no, mommy, no, not interested. I just want to do this thing.
Nah.
Yeah, but I believe part of that is because, that's what he's seen. Of course, you don't want to be, whatever, but but at the same time, if the only thing that you're seeing on TV, if the only people who are being like, glorified or whatever is athletes,
Right.
the only people who are getting like these multi-million-dollar endorsement deals are athletes. I mean, if that's the only thing that you're seeing on TV, or you're seeing represented in the media, or even really exalted in your community, that's all. That's it. If the only place where you see the arts being a major part of really in education, if the only physical space that you see the arts being exalted is at Davidson Fine Arts, you think that's the only place where the arts exist. You feel like that's the only place where you can excel in being a creative, and that's not the truth.
Right.
And the only place where, for a long time, in Richmond County, the only place that the people who were speaking,
Whoa.
so the people who were spokespersons for Richmond County schools, Richmond County school system, for a little while, the only places that they told people who came into town, who were considering moving into town, they only talked about the magnet schools. They only talked about C.T. Walker and Davidson and A.R. Johnson and TCM.
and all that.
Just the public schools.
Yeah.
Not even the private. The private is different. My son goes to a private school.
I forgot. Yeah.
Oh, Quan's private?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But if you're considering moving to Richmond County, and so many people are moving to this space right now, so many people are coming into this space, and if the person that I'm talking to about education, and granted, if people who are coming into this space are millennials, right? They got kids, right? You want to move to a place where you have a great school system, and if the person who is speaking out on behalf of your public school system is only exalting the magnet schools, there's a problem there. Now we got some a new inflection. I'll make sure that's the right word. I don't know if that's the right word.
It
sounds
it
good.
rolled off your tongue very well. Inflection.
We have a new person who's in charge of communication now, and it's different from the messaging that there was before. But for a long time, when you were considering moving to Richmond County schools, the only thing that was talked about was a magnet school. You weren't talking about any schools that are in. I mean, none of them, other than those four schools. There are there are, let's see, and three of those are high schools. There are at least like 10 high schools. I don't know how many schools are in Richmond County. Can't think of off the top of my head, but that's a legit thing. We have to pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the reason, I mean, back in the day, I was in high school like 100 years ago, 100,000 years ago.
No, not really.
And it was only 50,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Code switching.
But it was but I loved Butler High School, and the principal there now, she's my Sarah. She's awesome.
Abram?
Yep.
Oh yeah, Stacy. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of you at Butler though, you posted a picture, or somebody posted a picture, and you was tagged in it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was hot.
Yeah.
That was fabulous.
Your
That
pose was everything too. Like I don't know if you've seen the picture being taken. I don't know. All I know is
I
that
don't know.
when I did move down here, because Butler's different now. Obviously, they had a whole renovation. The lunchroom looked the exact same when I was there.
Yeah.
So I just tell you how, like, even just the Southern, how it worked. Everything stays the same until it has to change.
Stacey Mabry. That's my girl.
Mabry.
Mabry.
Yeah. Shout out to her, man.
Yeah.
So describe to me, what was Butler like? Because you love Butler so much. What was it like back then? Like, what was?
It was.
Why was it so special to you?
It was. I was in a band. I was a musician.
You had the best band? Because somebody told me Josie had a better band than you. That what the streets were saying. I was down in 15th Street one day. They were just talking about it.
Well, so Josie. So okay, let me
Get right now, because they're gonna be up on you. I don't want to.
I ain't scared. All right, so Harkness Butler was the very best band director of all time. Well, but the cool thing about him, Harkness Butler being at Butler High School, and then Charles Smith being at Josie at the time. We and then Josie and Laney had and then Mr. Allen or whomever was at, they had their whole thing going on. We weren't trying to compete with Laney and Josie. We could not compete with them on what they did well, which was the whole HBCU magic marching band kind of situation. I mean, they were the shit.
Okay, so all right.
They really were.
You kept it 100. You kept it 100. She kept it 100. She kept it 100.
Right, but now we could play better than any of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got all the medals. We got all the competitions, all the district, state, all that kind of stuff. We got that. But as far as performance,
who won every Friday night? That's what I want to know. Who won?
Oh no,
Friday
they
nights?
no yeah
okay.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Y'all got the medal, but they got the Friday nights.
We got We got they got all that. Yeah, they got all that.
I ain't gonna lie, this is a good look for Open Pro, because you keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? So it tells me that y'all writing everything gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? It's very authentic.
Yes, authentic. Yeah, because we were like, we couldn't. Our competition was Glen Hills.
Okay, so that's honestly, and I know back then it was no Cross Creek. I know that's further down. So I know my history on that sense. So that made more sense. More y'all than okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I got some things to say about Glen Hills, because they ain't had no stadium. They had to use our stadium, so I talk trash about Glen Hills.
Glen Hills is nice now, but yeah, maybe back in the day I could see them not being too great and all the things.
Come at me, bro. But I don't know who's gonna come for me, but I know a couple folks.
But they had a lot of the military brats, if I'm not mistaken. My understanding is they was more close to the military base, so they were pushed over that way. That's another thing. But
I dig them.
What I will say is, when I came down here, I went to Butler my 10th grade year. Then I went to Josie my 11th grade. Boom. I went back to Butler. Okay. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep 100 with you, right? I was mad when I went to Josie at first, because I didn't want. My third high school in 3 years, I was mad. I'm like, wow, we moved so much. I never moved much in my life. We always stayed one place my whole life, and then I don't know what happened. We just changed. We kept moving all around.
Yeah.
And then my first day at Josie, they had a what's that thing called? I guess
a pep rally.
Pep rally, yeah. I ain't know that well. We didn't have it up there. We ain't had it up top. A pep rally, and I was like, oh, nah, this is the place to be. This was wild.
Oh, for real?
I was still mad. Don't get me wrong. I ain't know about it yet. You know what I'm saying? But just the feeling of being there. I don't care about band. Cause I don't know nothing about that. Cause I'm up there. We didn't do bands and that stuff.
Yeah.
The closest I ever got to that was what's that movie with
Drumline.
Drumline. That's the closest I got to it. And it was a big deal to him. I'm like, why y'all care about that movie so much? Now I know why. You know what I'm saying? But when I got down there and I seen everything that was going on and just the vibe, and it was mad black kids, and I was like, when you said because that Butler, it was so.
I can't even imagine a pep rally at Josie.
It was crazy, and there was a new gym too. It was packed out.
Imagine that.
Everybody was behaving. So you know, mostly you see a lot of us in that setting. If something happened, especially all the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
In there, everybody would just chill.
Yeah,
you couldn't tell it was like that.
What year? What year
This
is that? Every year?
07. This is 07.
Yeah, you know that kind of BS, the kind of craziness that you see on the news and stuff. That didn't happen on a regular basis.
It wasn't like that at school at all. Yeah,
it wasn't like that at school. You know,
Nah.
you have a good time.
They was in classes together, man. Like they be chilling most of the time, unless they don't have to chill. But most of the time they chilling.
Yeah, they chilling. I mean, I mean, chilling as like a high school student is. I mean, you got to understand. You got to understand kids, and you know what the whole thing. It's not like chilling as a 50. I mean. 35-year-old as I am, you know.
There you go.
You know,
sound about right.
Yeah, so
I was thinking 32, but it's all good.
yeah, 32, yeah. So, but yeah, chilling. It's nobody was acting, you know, crazy and doing like no crazy stuff, and you know at pep rallies back then. I mean, the craziest thing would be, you know, I don't even know, just being disrespectful or telling jokes or whatever, or stuff like that. It wasn't that crazy.
It got wild over the years. They be wilding out sometimes. But for the most part, like I said, everybody kind of want to enjoy their time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you, I never asked you this before, but like, so after high school, like, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? Because I know you talk about high school, and like, what did you do there? Because I know you as, they call you the plug. I don't know if you know you the plug or not.
I'm the plug.
The
I'm
plug.
the plug.
Yeah. You plugged in which way? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I got that good.
how'd you?
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been watching TV.
That's wild.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My Scooter won't see this. He won't see.
Yeah,
My
that's just water, right? Okay. So
It's that water.
So how'd you get to
No.
be so plugged in? Like all these connections you got over the years and stuff like that.
I think it just
Did you go platinum or
Man.
something? 'Cause I know you sing and
No,
stuff.
I got to tell you, it's the craziest thing. It just like came about from several just like really unfortunate incidences. I think, you know, I'm a woman of a certain age, right? So
35.
35. Yeah.
There we go.
Let's go with that. But no, I think that like I've been fortunate. You know, my brother is like a fabulous person. He's a jazz musician, and he actually like super inspired me when I was in high school and then beyond that, right? So so he's like this fabulous jazz musician, and I decided that I wanted to, and he really wants to. He is always like James Brown. He's like repped Augusta. You know, I love Augusta. You know, South Augusta.
Shout out to
I
him.
wanna make magic in Augusta. I wanna do music in Augusta. Even though he's traveling and, you know, doing jazz magic and that kind of shit. But but I, you know, because of him, I'm able to like forge these relationships with people here locally. He's traveling.
Oh, so he's big time.
He's big. Yeah, he's big. He's
there we
big.
go.
He's
I
like,
knew it was somewhere in there.
yeah. So he's all fabulous and whatever.
And what's your brother's name?
Wycliffe.
So technically, to most people, you're not Karen. You're Wyclif's sister.
Well, you know, initially, yes. For the longest time, I was like Wycliffe's sister.
I know you're popping now, but I'm saying before.
I'm like
yeah,
popping
okay.
now.
Got
I'm
you.
popping now. But like for the longest time, whenever I would so I started working with a band. I worked with the band Quiet Storm for a while. And whenever I was out in the club or whatever, the club,
I know, right.
Whatever.
The lounge.
But when they would introduce me, it was so crazy. It's crazy, right? So they'd be like, "Hey, we got this coming up on the keys. It's Karen Gordon. It's Wycliffe Gordon's sister." And people, I was like, that's some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
It'd be like, but that was the way that I was introduced in rooms like for like a decade. I think they were like,
Dang.
"This is Wycliffe Gordon's sister," and I was like,
Did it bother you?
"Yeah." I was like, "What?"
Like I'm more than just his sister.
But no, I was like, no, because I wasn't.
Okay.
No, I
You
wasn't.
wasn't?
I
Not
was
yet.
like, because I didn't really. I was like, I don't even know how to play this music. It was R&B and whatnot.
That probably was their way of getting people to just tune in. Like,
Right.
hey, y'all, this
Okay.
is a
They're
big
like,
deal,
check
sister.
this, check
So
us out. This is Wycliffe's sister, and then people in the club be like, "Who is Wycliffe?" Because they didn't listen. They weren't
you know
jazz
why, right?
people.
Because
Yeah.
all the people was they only pushing sports. So
Right.
like
Yeah.
nobody knew about the music.
Right. Right. And then the people who knew Cliff would be like, yeah. And that was cool. But we began to leverage that once I realized it was like, y'all, I was like, y'all can stop saying that because people don't really. In the R&B club, in the dance club or whatever, we playing R&B. They're like, who is Wycliffe?
Gotcha. Makes sense.
But now, if we talking jazz, now they know who Wycliffe is when you're talking the whole jazz thing. So we were doing that for a little while, and then we just got a connection with the city. The city of Augusta started doing Candlelight Jazz. They asked our band to run that to book bands to handle that whole thing. It was cool. It was for 8 weeks, right? Sunday nights downtown, easy peasy, no big deal. So then we got the opportunity to expand on that, and what I wanted to do was to bring in other bands,
Right.
Not just my band, because I was, my band was
Spread love.
fabulous or whatever. But I'm like, everybody in here to see our band. I said, we bring other bands in, there were plenty of other bands playing, plenty of other jazz bands playing. So let's do that. Bring these other bands in, spread the love, spread a little money around. It wasn't a whole bunch of money, but it was a little bit of money. And then during that time, I learned how to leverage some relationships, and I was beginning to learn how to do events, how to promote, and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So we started doing that, and I was like, this will help me to help Cliff when he does his stuff in town, because he had
Okay. I got
huge
you.
dreams. She's like, I want to do this. I want to do these concert series. He's big. He had Christmas in the Garden City. That was his thing. It was like a fabulous, wonderful thing. But when he started doing that, none of us knew how to do a big show.
Right, but
That
he
was-
did.
He did, and he knew what he wanted. He knew what he wanted to see. We just didn't know how to execute it.
So was that hard? Like with him being experienced and y'all not being so experienced? Like
It was difficult. It was difficult, and it cost. It's like, and my brother has always been committed to making sure that the musicians, the performers, get paid. Right? He's not that. No, I'm a different person, but he's always made sure that we have to set a certain standard, right? We set a certain standard for performance. We set a certain standard for what we want the people to experience, and then we set a standard for what we're going to pay musicians. He has always been that guy, and I didn't understand it at first. I understand it now because I'm a woman of a certain age, 35.7.
get closer
Right.
and closer every time we talk about it.
Right. Right. But he has always been that guy. He's like, I want to in order to take care of the art, we have to take care of the artists. If we not
Warren, you writing
paying,
this down?
Right. If we're not paying people, if we are not paying people, how do we expect other folks to pay musicians? How do we expect the clubs to come off of the money if we're not taking care of people ourselves? So
Y'all ever thought about telling some of the local clubs these things? 'Cause
yeah,
I hear they have a problem paying artists.
let me
for
tell
the
you,
performances.
we have. I mean, I've had several conversations. We've sat down several times over the past couple of weeks and talked about that at length.
Okay, because I see a lot of what they be doing. He's a rapper. I don't know if you know that or not. But what do they do? They be doing this thing called I don't know, slavery. Nah, but it's
Yo,
no, I'm playing.
That's a wild guy, bro.
But it's free work because
No,
they be
no.
like, oh, winner gets to perform for this. Tell me that it's you want my money, so you're paying me to do my art and all the
No.
other stuff because Boosie's coming to town again.
Let me tell you, I gotta tell you, I've done that. I've done that for a long time, and I gotta tell you, it was really very recently, as of probably like yesterday. I'm like, seriously, not like yesterday, but like yesterday, where I was like, you know what? It was really like COVID, the whole COVID thing, just like. And so when you ask the question about like how are you doing this thing and whatever, I've had like a couple of times where I've had these like I don't know, these like eye-opening moments, like where shit like just like changes, and the first was like when I was pregnant with Scooter and I was in the hospital, I had this whole like major health thing with the baby and all that kind of stuff, and I had to be in the hospital for like 3 months. I couldn't work, couldn't do any of that. So that was like life or death thing. That was a serious thing. So it takes, when you deal with that like changes your whole shit.
Yeah.
Right? That was that. And then this thing last year, this whole COVID thing, changed the whole game for everything. And it wasn't, and the actually, the difference in the comparisons between the two, they weren't very different. One was just like a really, really health crisis. The other was like a crisis of, I don't even know. I mean, I'm still in it. I'm still like,
COVID was going away.
I'm still in the shit. So, but at the time, what was it, 2008, however long ago that was, I couldn't work. But the similarities between the two is that I knew that I wasn't gonna die.
Right.
But I felt like I was gonna die. Right. My whole career my whole shit just shifted right back then. And then this year, my whole shit shifted.
Right.
Right? It's like I'm feeling like I'm on like top of the world. I mean, 2020 was going to be the thing. I mean, not just because it's 2020, but because we had set some things in place. And those things just went away.
Yeah. Yep. Everybody's vision board was wrong.
Right. It legit was. And so in the midst of all of that, trying to figure out, I mean, how we gonna do this? How we gonna not even how we gonna recover from this? How are we gonna live in this? Mm-hmm. I just started planting shit. I was like, we gotta. I got these plants. I got these vegetables. I'm just gonna put these motherfuckers in the ground. That's all I can do. That's all I could do. And then, in the midst of all of that, so coming back to where we at, in the midst of all that, we not gathering with our, bubble. The thing I started talking about was we got to figure out what we're gonna do, and not just this doing stuff just to have something to do, but we cannot continue to do business the way that we've been doing it before. That whole we just doing this because we can. We can't do that no more. We can't do any of that anymore. That pussyfooting around, that just, we got a Friday night to do something, so we just gonna throw something on the wall to see if it sticks.
It's almost like they're hustling and they're abusing the art at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a hustle and they're abusing the art, and these people spend their hard time making these songs and doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they think it's a good thing they paying this money to perform and really get nothing out of it. It's a down payment of ass. You get nothing. Like really, you really get nothing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I was like, we gotta look at what we're doing. I said we've been doing some crazy shit too.
I ain't gonna lie though, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, right? When you was talking, I was wondering when you were going there with all that stuff. I was like,
Yeah, I was like, where we going?
I know how I am when I lose
she
my
put it
thought.
back?
I start talking like that, and I was like, maybe she lost it. Let me just see if she gonna get
Well,
it
she
back.
pulled it back in.
But she would never lost.
Right.
Yeah, she was
No,
never
I
lost.
was
Exactly
like,
where she
we've
was
been
going.
doing like so much stuff, and we always meet. We talking about we gonna do this. We gonna do this for Garden City Jazz. We got a party on the green. We gonna do this pop up Augusta. We gonna do this thing. We gonna do these dinner parties. We gonna do this. We gonna make. And so going back to like the Cliff thing. And so the thing that's crazy about that is, and then we ain't even gonna talk about that social justice shit
Yeah, see.
that went down. That was
It's an everyday thing now.
that was crazy. And we had to deal with that being musicians and trying to figure out how what we're gonna say. What are we as musicians? What are we as creatives, as artists saying in this particular time? We gonna be out here. We gonna just be out here trying to make money. We gonna just be out here just trying to perform. We gonna be out here, whatever, having a good time, or what are we gonna do? So all that happened last year, and so that was one of those pivotal times where we really had to ask those questions.
Yeah.
What are we really doing? Mm-hmm. Why are we really here? And what are we really trying to say? It was, and we're still in that space.
Yeah.
Was any of what we talking about right now, at least for the social injustice, was there any of that play a part in you trying, or not you trying, but in you now being what you are to the Urban Pro Weekly? Like, did that have anything to do with it? Like, was that heavy in your mind?
Yeah, it had like it's so crazy. It had like everything to do with the decision to start the paper.
So I'm gonna give you a minute, but
yeah,
you can take a minute. I'm gonna ask you how you got into it, but no, I definitely understand what you're saying when you bring up the art though, because I think as artists, when y'all do make music, a lot, especially when y'all make conscious music and when y'all care what y'all making, you can't just make a party record when it's not party time. You know what I'm saying? Or you can't launch a party record when it's not party time. And I'm glad I got Juan here, stage name Jason X, because I remember him sending me some songs last year that he had did.
Jason. Okay.
And
I got you now.
I also remember you I remember I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna be like, hey yo, you gotta put this out. You gotta put this out.
Yeah.
But he's pro-black, very pro-black, especially
Yeah.
for his age. He's young. He's pro-black, and he cares a lot about that. And he'll come to see me at work and we'll talk, and he'd be like very passionate about this stuff. You know, he'd be like, you seen that, man? He'd be really mad.
Yeah.
And it's
you
like
be
you-
all at the thing, you be like,
I can't get him to make music if he's feeling the way he feel, because he gonna make music feeling like that. You know,
Yeah.
you can't make a party record, a club record, and you upset because you're not upset in the club. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I understand what you're saying about that, especially with art. And I know
Yeah.
when you true to the artistry, you know, that
Yeah.
those are things you kind of you wrestle with.
yeah, yeah, and you know, I think I when I had a couple of conversations with Fred Benjamin about the paper, you know, we've had several conversations about Urban Pro Weekly over the past couple of years, and it's always been like, you know, let's check it out. You know, we want to do something that's very art centric, and we just kind of gone back and forth, and it hasn't worked out. You know, it's gonna work out, but in the spring, I think it was the summer of last year, 2020, Benjamin was looking to do a Voices of Protest kind of thing, like a call for artists, and there were a couple people who were interested in it, and we kind of talked back and forth and all that kind of stuff. So towards the fall, you know, we had another conversation. I was like, "Hey, how are you doing with the project?" He's like, "Well, people are kind of looking to get some money attached to it," and I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Okay, I get that. So I'll be willing to put a little bit, and when I say a little bit, I mean like
About $1.50 off your record price.
$1.50
I
over
got you.
here." Take the whole thing up.
Give a military discount.
It wasn't gonna be a whole lot. I was like, I got a little something, you know. But so we just started talking about it. He's like, you know, I'm kind of trying to move in a different direction, and I'm, you know, so we started talking about that. And I gotta tell you, I was not trying to do a newspaper thing at all. That's not.
So
my,
it happened kind of gradually over time. It wasn't like they just sent you an offer because you were Cliff's sister. That wasn't like that.
It happened like spur of the moment kind of thing. Because we had talked about it before, but I was very clear. I was like, you know, I ain't trying to newspaper ain't my thing. I have no desire.
Or let me ask you about
To do
first.
that.
So the name you all right? She could cough. You can't, bro.
Okay.
No, I'm blind. I know. When I do that, I make people laugh. I'm sorry, bro.
I know, right?
My bad. But, so the publication we talking about, Urban Pro Weekly, right?
Yes.
All right. So, and what is your position with that particular
My position is I am the publisher.
publisher? And what is that? I didn't go to Davis. I'm sorry. What is that?
No, that just means that that we are. It's kind of like executive producer of an album, and that
Do you see the
we're-
final product? Like it don't go out until you say, "Hey, this is okay."
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
We're publishing, so we're like publishing. We're paying the money to get the printing done and all that kind of stuff. But a paper I'm new to this, so I don't know. But I'm still figuring it out. But there's a relationship between a publisher and the editor and all those kind of. There are a whole bunch of.
I see a lot of movies that with news articles and stuff like that. So that's why I like and journalism is like a thing I like. So
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes on, but what I do is I just make sure that that it gets printed, because we decided to print to go to print as opposed to doing digital. Mm-hmm. So I mean, well, as opposed to doing just digital.
right.
So we're printing. I make the arrangements to get it printed, and I'm selling ads and and Fred Benjamin, who's the founder, he's still on board, and he's really doing the heavy lifting.
So who is that? I know he's the founder, but who is it? Give me the background about him a little bit.
Oh man, he is like the guru of all things Black media.
Oh, he's Black.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good guy. Okay, I'm
Oh
talking.
yeah.
The Fred would throw me off a little bit, but okay, I got you.
Yeah. So he came to this area probably about 30 years ago. Worked for the Augusta Focus.
You was only 5 years old, huh?
Right. Yeah, I was 5 years old. He did this, and he's been like, the guy. He's been like the go-to guy when it comes to Black news and media in Augusta. He knows all the stuff. He is an innovator in that space.
Okay.
So
I gotta find this guy. I gotta talk to him. We gotta have a conversation. Some
Yeah.
conversations.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, so I know Urban Pro Weekly was. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Did it have a time where they stopped, or I'm tripping? Like.
Yeah, so Urban Pro Weekly, or UPW, Fred Benjamin started this paper in the summer of 2011.
Okay.
So 10 years ago. He started that as a partnership with Ben Hassan, who is the current District 6 commissioner. He wasn't a commissioner at the time, but they had a partnership for a while. I think, but for the past 3-4 years, Benjamin has been running this paper by himself, with staff. Vincent Hobbs, who's been taking great and wonderful photos, but it's been like the voice of the Black community. Fred Benjamin is also he's also a musician. He hosts a couple of events throughout the year. He does the annual Bob Marley tribute.
Oh, okay. I didn't even hear about that. So that's dope.
Yeah. So I'm learning about what's going on. And one of the things, I mean, there are several things that we want to do, and I can't take credit for doing any of this by myself, because Denise Tucker is contributing. She's doing a good bit of work with this particular publication, with this particular effort. But so because Fred Benjamin has been doing this work for all of this time, we want to make sure that we have access to it, we preserve it, we archive this, this work. He's been writing for decades, and part of the reason why we felt like this work was important is because there's if we don't have access to it, if we don't have access to history, if we're not aware of what our history is, we're doomed or bound to repeat it. And there are certain things that are happening in this particular in society, in this community, that we're seeing things repeat themselves, right? Trends repeat themselves, because people grow old, they go away, they pass away, or whatever. And if you're not aware of certain trends, then we're going to fall into some same traps.
Same traps, yeah.
So what we want to do with UPW is to gather that information, to make it, to archive it, to make it available, to provide commentary, so that we can say, when we're coming up to this next election cycle, then we can say to folks who are able to vote now, who may not have been able to vote 10 years ago, 20 years ago, this is what this means. This is what this referendum item means. This is what SPLOST is about, and this is how it relates to you.
Right.
So many times we get like, I mean, I tend to get that way myself because I've been following some of the stuff for years and years and years. So when shit comes up, I'm like, okay, yeah, I see you.
See, but that's dope because, like I said, I told you before, I had like 4 SPLOST shirts. I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
I just wore it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was the shirt to wear. It was black and white. It was nice shirts. I just have 4 of them. Never
Yeah.
asked because, I mean, I didn't have the time. Didn't have the wherewithal to want to ask that at the time. But, like, now I see more younger kids and they're wanting to know more about certain things, asking more questions. Politics becoming more understandable now. You know, people are understanding it more, questioning it more, doing their own research. And then having a publication now like this that's going to be archiving things for you is going to help, you know, in the long run.
Yeah.
Even though they're doing more stuff than that, but that's also, I know, one of the things y'all doing. So, for like intentions though, like what can people look forward to within the paper? Like, and is it weekly or bi-weekly right now?
It's bi-weekly.
Okay.
So we're publishing every 2 weeks. So as opposed to twice a month, which is, those things are slightly different. But yeah, every 2 weeks. We started in March. So our the issues that are available are March 4 and 18, and then April 1, and then 15 and 29, and like that. So
Real quick, I want to show the paper. This is the latest
That's the
edition right
latest.
here, April 1st
Yeah.
through April 15th, as you can see. We got a bunch of artists on the front cover, and none of them
Yeah.
play sports, so that's amazing. All right, I see what you did there. But granted, now you did have the they did cover when Josie and them won, so that
we
was
did.
dope. I thought that was dope.
We covered all
But yeah.
those schools, the high schools
State
and
Farm,
middle
you know what I'm
schools
saying?
that did
Paper
the
copy.
thing.
Where can they find
Yeah.
a paper copy at too? By the way,
So we're working out the whole distribution thing.
I've been getting my copy from you.
Okay, yeah, I'll bring them to you. We're trying to figure out where is the best way to place them, because you know we got the whole coronavirus thing. Although your governor just opened up the state to whatever.
Who's governor?
Your governor.
Oh.
Your governor did that.
Yo, yours wild.
But
Who's that?
your governor be wild. But we got them at, of course, City Hall and the post office. But now the libraries are open back up. We're taking them over to libraries. We have a guy who's taking them over to Barber and Beauty.
I used to see him in Balo. That's why I think I
Mbalo.
saw it. I saw him in Balo.
Yeah, you know the grocery stores. Well, you know
But they can easily get missed there. Just so you know that.
I took some over there, and I was like,
It's KJ's now. That's what they calling it now.
I know, right? I dropped some at KJ. I was like, I just went over there, like, boop. So we're still figuring that out, though. Trying to find out where people are, and then of course we've got we're on social media, so we got the UPW Facebook page, and then we got a space for the digital copy, but we're still working it out. I mean, we're at the market. Okay, so Growing Augusta Arts, Agriculture, and Agency is the group that's publishing the paper. So wherever we are, that's where the paper will be. So we're at the Saturday market. We're at all the farmers markets. We're of course at Humanitarian House as a partner on this. So
All the urban places.
all the urban places.
Can you tell me what urban means in this title, or is that something you can't answer?
Urban means it kind of means black.
Okay. Just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure. That was-
It means black, and we are. It's a black paper. The audience is African American, however you want to say it, African American, urban, black, but it is a paper that is for black people. That's who the audience is.
See, this is dope. I'm looking at the paper right now as you talk. It says plywood from boarded up shops turned into art commemorating Floyd killing. I like that. That was dope.
So we're trying to find stuff that find information that works.
Dr. Umar coming down here?
Yeah. I thought.
Yeah, he's gonna be here.
Talk microphone, bro.
I didn't tell you about.
He's
thought
gonna be
I
here
told you
what?
that, but yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. That's your uncle, right? Why you
Humanitarian House.
Okay. That's his uncle. I don't know if you knew that now.
Nah, man.
Yeah, so he's gonna. So,
It's dope, though.
yeah, so he's gonna be here.
That's dope. I like that.
Well, what is he doing again? He coming to talk to us and
He's doing a book signing.
Book signing. Yep.
He's doing a
There
book
we go.
signing.
Taking donations?
Okay. That's gonna be.
I
dope.
don't know. And look, so here's the thing too, and I was having a conversation with my brother-in-law yesterday about the paper, and it's a really interesting space to be in because I feel very strongly about the necessity, the fact that that these voices, that our voices need to be amplified, right? That we need to have a space where we can talk about stuff.
Right. I'm seeing that in the article. This is dope.
And so, but at the same time, me personally, I have to wrestle with like my own personal preference versus I have to figure out, and this is new for me. I have to figure out how to achieve some balance between what I want to say versus what the community needs to see, right? Mm-hmm. There's like stuff that I'm like, I ain't really in love with that. Yeah. Like some stuff that, okay, so we're publishing every 2 weeks. So this came out on April 1st. Mm-hmm. The next one is coming out on Thursday, which is the 15th. Yeah. So there's a lot has happened since then. There was this, on Saturday there was the Jim Crow rally in front of the Masters, across from the Augusta National, about the voting rights thing. Oh shit! Today was the thing in Burke County about Barry Fleming, and the same thing, voting rights. So, voter restrictions, all that kind of stuff. So, I have very like Alderman Davis from Good Times. I have very definite opinions about the value. This is gonna sound crazy. The value of each of those. I have different opinions about which one. I wouldn't how I would feel about going to but each of those things are important. Each is important to the community. It's not. I gotta figure. It's not up to me to determine. You
can't put all your personal feelings in the publication. It gotta be a balance of what you think is correct.
Because it's not. It's not about. I mean, it's my thing. Yeah. But it's not about me.
It's about the community.
It's about the community. So
I would say really, y'all got intention, y'all got vision. So always stick to that.
Yeah.
The more you stick to that, you can't really go wrong.
Right.
Now, if you try to thrive off because you just think, I just like this article, then
I just want to see my face up in there.
But I like this though. That. Even I say commentary, but you say just a friend. I'm gonna read that later. That seems dope.
Yeah, you should read that.
Movers and Shakers. It's an older lady here. She looks beautiful, by the way. She's black, so.
That's right. That's Miss Anderson.
Yeah. So Loretta. Yeah. So she's a older woman.
That's right, Miss Loretta.
All about fashion. Rising teens on the path to success. This is dope. Rising teens on the path to success. And they don't let you basketball. So it's not just sports.
right. See?
Right next to that is this handsome man in the paper. I don't know who he is. He does something called More Than a Master.
Right. But you gotta read that. You gotta read that more than just a friend. It's about the master. So I want to make sure that I got
You got A.E.
that piece in there. Yes.
Shout out to you.
Troy McLaughlin. I
Trey
like him. He's a great
McLaughlin.
singer.
Mm-hmm.
Art the artist. Okay.
That's right.
Community
we got some
watch.
people in there. We got some food
Food.
in there too.
Oh yeah, red, black, and greens. Oh yeah, even them colors meaning something. You know what I'm saying? I see what y'all did there. Justice Watch, talking about sex trafficking.
Yeah. Yes.
I like this, and then it's a physical copy. You know what I'm saying? This is just
That's a
needed.
physical
Digital
copy.
is cool. Don't get me wrong. It's a new wave, but it's nothing like having that physical copy. You know?
Yeah, and we wanted to do that. Not just because we old, but having something. But just like vinyl, you know,
Making the way
just
back
like
now.
Yeah, physical copies of books and that kind of thing is coming back. It's making a comeback. So.
How do you plan to get the word out for this? Because like I said, I know it's something that's been going on. It's a publication been going on. I'm seeing it more now, maybe because I know you and I'm here and talking about it. I'm pushing it. I guess people like me need to help. Obviously, people that's in media, of course, I'm hit down with anything. I got an idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about it when we get to the end of this though.
Yeah.
So how do y'all plan to like make the following bigger? I got a page for it. Is it a Facebook page for Urban Pro Weekly?
There is a Facebook page for
Are you over it?
Urban Pro
You gotta get
Weekend.
over it. Okay?
I just was added as an
Member?
admin
Okay.
to it. But Vince Hobbs, who is the photographer
Mm-hmm.
for all things UPW, he is the admin for the page,
Okay.
and so he goes out and he takes these wonderful photos. He's always out in the community, so he does a lot of sports stuff. And I'm like, Vince, I need you to go and get some
Jazz
other stuff
pictures.
too. Get
Yeah,
some get some jazz.
That sports is gonna
pictures.
piss you off, man.
Right.
Hey, too many jerseys. Too many jerseys
But
now.
you know
Come
what?
on.
The great thing about that, and that's something. And see, here's the thing, like, both Vince Hobbs and Fred Benjamin, they've been in the newspaper business for decades. So I'm always asking them. So I always ask questions like, okay, so how can we do this? How does this work? How do we make this work? I want to do this. How does this work for you? I already have an idea like in my head, but he'll be like, okay, this is how this is how this thing works.
Okay.
And he's like, you gotta do this. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool with it. I
will say this though, as far as the sports thing go, it's one of them things too. It's kind of like an advertising thing. Sometimes people see sports and they just pick it up. Oh, who's
Yeah.
this? And they just pick
Let
it
me
up.
tell you,
You got to reel them in.
Look, so like the first, all right, we three issues in. The first one had the cover photo was the James Brown mural, right, downtown. The second one, which was when we really started to do the market thing and really try to, put them in front of people, they had a picture of the Cross Creek girls basketball team.
Yeah.
And then this one was that I haven't really been out with
I'd
that
prefer with Josie, but it's all good. Keep going.
yeah, I know. So
Just keep it 100 with you.
I was at the market and I was handing these, handing the
Physical
pictures
copies,
out,
okay.
the papers out. And so folks were asking me, "Oh, is this a sports thing?" Because there was
Yeah, basketball in the front.
on the front. I was like, "No, it's
She got
not."
mad. Look, personal
I was mad. I was mad. I was like, "No, it's not just sports.
Sports.
It's."
Start steaming. Start steaming.
I really was. So, but so how do we get it out? We're doing some social media promo, but we're going to now that the county, the community is starting to open up. We'll make sure that we have them wherever we are, public places, of course, the library, and we're just trying to find out where people are.
Are y'all looking for any kind of more writers at all?
Yes.
I got one I'm thinking about. She writes like a lot of good stories and stuff. I've seen some of her stuff.
Yeah.
I asked her too. First I don't want to put it out there, but she's been asking to write for stuff, and she wrote for some magazine. I think VPN with Carlton Clay. She wrote for his a few times.
Oh,
But she
yeah.
wants something kind of stable writing for. She like to write, so I think that'd be a dope thing to do.
That would be cool. I would love that.
I just idea real quick. I'm gonna say it on air. Normally I don't do it, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Okay.
I think a good thing is like if y'all got a feature in here, y'all featuring somebody, right? It'd be dope if the interview could be like, it have to be long like how a podcast is, but it'd be like 15, 10 minutes, whatever. But
Yeah.
y'all got it visually, that'd be dope. And y'all could put some of it online, and then that make people go buy the paper. You see what I'm saying? So you put a little bit of it, or like the best part of it, and then like where the paper's
Right.
coming out. You ain't got to put the whole thing out there. You put it later
Yeah.
on. But that'd be just something good to do. Or you might have you might start a UPW thing. I don't know, but that'll help the paper be pushed. And
Yeah, so that's why I'm talking to you right
I'm
now.
down. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down to do that.
Yeah, so I definitely want to do that. I want to make sure that like I said, when we're talking about amplifying voices, there's a lot of stuff, like generally speaking, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do, that I want to do. And, of course, being a woman of a certain age, 35 and a half,
Okay, we going down this time. I got you.
35 and a half. I know that that's something that I cannot do. But I see this platform, this UPW platform, whatever it is, whether it's just, in print, whether it's just on Facebook, but whether it's also on Patreon. And then we've got some folks who are creating branded content, and exclusive content. Folks like yourselves who you're doing your own thing. Voices like yours and yours.
There we go.
Right.
Juan got the mirror glasses on right now.
Right. I know, right? I know, right? Are the ones that we wanted to amplify because all the stuff that folks like me want to do, want to see, we can't do that. Not by ourselves anyway.
Right. It's gotta be a team effort. Like I remember you were saying you're the publisher, but like I was talking to him. Even where we work at, it's certain people got certain positions for certain reasons. So it's like a machine machine runs if everybody doing their part.
Yeah.
So as long as you get people to come in and do their part and not try to be a star, is that you're doing their part. I don't see why that can't happen.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily want. I mean, there are spaces in which I want to be the star, but I'm,
If it's the jazz article, get me up in there, baby.
But I'm like, but that's the space that I'm working into. I mean, it's legit. Like, it's like crazy. I gotta tell you, like when I had the first conversation with Fred Benjamin, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you could do this. This will be easy for you could do this. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be chill. You could just call a lot of people. You could do this. It's easy." And I was like, my dumb ass was like, "Yeah, I could do that. I'll be easy, man."
There's somebody who's been in 30 years.
Right. And I told him, I was like, I know that the reason that I was like, you make it look easy because you've been doing it for 100 years. I got you on that. So, but I'm in it, I made a commitment to do the thing. I made a commitment. I made a commitment to learn, how to do it. And I'm learning. I don't know publishing business. I'm a musician.
You only gonna get better through mistakes. Musician, the same thing. You make the wrong tune sometimes. It's how you get the right tune. You know what the wrong one is now. So
yeah,
you gotta just try. It's trial and fail. You gotta do it.
I'm like, I said, I'm in it. I'm like, explain it to me like I'm a 6-year-old. As long as you're good with it, you know where I'm coming from. I'm genuine with the whole thing, and it's important. It's important to do this now. And so the reason, even though it's difficult, even though it's like hard as fuck to do this thing, I'm committed to it. And when I talk to people about it, and they're like, why would you do a newspaper? I mean, print is dead. I was like,
I got that written down by notes. Did I tell you that?
why print a newspaper? Nobody's reading a newspaper. I was like, well, I mean, people say nobody's listening to jazz. Nobody.
Or the radio.
Nobody, or the radio. And nobody is into farming. But those things, I said, I've never backed down from a fight before. Now I ain't got no problem with that now. I could be wrong all day and twice on Sunday. But if I believe in it, I'm gonna do the shit. If I commit to it, I'm gonna do it. And we're gonna do it together. So when it comes to speaking up for people who are doing great things, who have done wonderful things, who are speaking up for folks whose voices are muted or whatever. I'm with that. I mean, what I got to lose with that?
Well, I think is like I said, I wrote that down for like people going away from paper publications.
Yeah.
A lot of magazines are kind of all digital at this point now, or just video form only. But then you have the Chronicle, where I mean, people they still buying it, apparently because they still be selling out in every gas station. So somebody buying it somewhere.
Somebody buying. I
You got that.
pay for that shit.
You got that other publication that's just as horrible. It's called the J Report or something like that. People still buying that, and that's free information you can get online digitally. But people still would go buy it to have the physical form to say, "Hey, look at Lil Ray Ray in the paper." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm like, so why not? Why if we got that, if we got the worst of the worst being published and people are looking for it and paying for it.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Information y'all giving out, people can't just find easily.
Right.
Sometimes y'all might dumb it down for the consumer as well.
Yeah.
So they can understand these politics, understand what's going on.
Yeah.
This is free information you probably can find anywhere a lot of times in the other two.
I started off by like writing, like making a list of like people, places, and things, right? And I started, but even before our first issue came out, and these were people that I wanted to talk to, that I found, to be interesting. For whatever reason, it wasn't just because I wanted to sell an ad or something. It was just
you got
like
a list of names or something.
I have a list of names. I have a list of like 250 people. A list, 250 people, places, whatever that I want to talk to for the paper, and that's just me.
I got you. I'm ready whenever though. Whenever
That's
you want
just
to talk to me.
You there? I just heard about you and I saw Maine's post a tweet or something. The other day before he went.
Yeah, he liked it.
Before he went underground or whatever.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I'm like if I and these are all. I mean, this it's only 200 people. Right. I don't know if that sounds crazy or ridiculous or lame or what, but there are people that I want to talk to, that I want to find out. Hey, how you doing? What you doing? What you working on?
What drives you?
Yeah. Whatever. What? And I'm saying it's crazy. It's like it's just me. These are only and it started off as just like. Just some random stuff, and then the more I started the more I really started to put the list down. I was like, oh snap, and I was like, oh, I gotta add this person. Oh, and this business, and of course now, UPW is Augusta centric, right? But Augusta, but it's all, CSR. I hate to say CSRA. It's the Greater Augusta River Region.
What's wrong with that word?
Let me tell you what's wrong with that. So do not use CSRA whenever you're talking about anything that can potentially affect anybody outside of your local area, right? So And that's just because it's a tourism, it's a promotion thing. So the only people who know what CSRA means are people who live here. So when you say, I booked, my girl Sunja said, she posted a couple of days ago, I booked a wedding in the CSR, my first wedding in the CSRA. I was like, hey, sis, congratulations, but don't use CSRA because nobody knows. And she's not from here. Mm-hmm. She's not from here. She's from Atlanta, some other parts of Georgia. But the only people who know what that means is because there was somebody who commented.
I said, "What's that?"
Well, I don't know what that means, but congratulations. No, I'm like,
so use Greater Augusta instead.
Just put Augusta. Mm-hmm. It's just like Atlanta. Mm-hmm. You might live in East Point or Buckhead or Decatur. Yeah, you in Atlanta. Nobody knows. Okay. Just say it. But and if anybody is looking for you, right? If anybody is looking for somebody who happens to be coming through, hey, I'm gonna be traveling through Augusta. I'm looking for Augusta. They're not gonna search for. They don't know what CSR means. So if
I don't know what this abbreviation for.
Yeah, you don't need to know. But it's Central Savannah River area.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, just don't use
what that even means.
Yeah, just
still, even though I know what it means, I don't know what it means.
Yeah, just don't use it. Just it's all Augusta. But yeah, I tell everybody just don't use that.
Oh, what about ads? Like, so how can somebody put an ad in the paper? Because I think when I told you I was had a podcast today and who I was doing, two people asked me that, so they want to know how they go about getting ad space in there, who they get an email, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so to get an ad, it's gonna cost you $1 million.
Something light, not major.
$1 million.
$1 million.
I know. Urban Pro Weekly at Gmail. Just send a message there, and we'll get you. We'll get you straight.
Urban Pro Weekly at Gmail. Okay.
Yeah, we haven't gotten our website together. I have a little placeholder on my Growing Augusta site, but it's not ready yet.
Okay.
But yeah, just shoot me on. Or just go to the just send a message to the UPW Facebook page, and we got you.
As far as like, how do y'all go about determining what's gonna be the quote unquote feature of this 2 weeks? Versus, whatever. Like, do y'all sit down? Is it like a board meeting? Is it a theme for each publication? Or it's like, what? Let's just put this person on the front. This just happened.
That's an awesome question.
Because Tiger didn't win the Masters, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, what was the goal for this one?
Which I
haven't seen yet. So
we're still figuring it out. I know I'm not sure when this podcast will be ready.
Monday.
But Monday. Okay, so we go to press on Thursday. So I don't know. I know we're gonna feature Brother Trav and Xavier Jones.
Shout out to Brother Trav.
Because they won. They're doing a public art project for the Arts Council.
I did see him post that.
And there's something else, but I know those two are gonna be featured.
Okay. So far,
we're
still
figuring out
2 publications a month.
Yeah.
So that's about
every 2 weeks. So sometimes there's.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so just bi-weekly rather.
Yeah. Bi-weekly, and we're gonna do a special thing for graduates. We just haven't figured it out yet.
Okay.
I mean, so. If I was a journalist, if this was like my
your calling,
regular job, like if I was like trained for this,
yeah.
I would feel a certain way about saying to you that we just figuring it out. But the reality is, I won't say that we're. I'm still figuring it out. Fred Benjamin is still doing the heavy lifting. He's doing like all the layout, and he's, I'm on the phone with him like several times a day, like, oh my God, what is this? How does this work? And all of that. So he and Vince are they're still, you know, holding my hand with this whole thing. And but yeah, I'm still figuring it out. How do we determine who's on the cover? I defer a lot of stuff, most things to him.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense.
yeah. I mean, I say, yeah, I want to do this. I want to see this. I want it to feel this way. I mean, I really do. We want it to feel very art centric. We want it to be very positive and uplifting, but we definitely want to make sure that we are informative and uplifting. So,
Well, I said y'all got a vision, so that's the probably the best part, and y'all seem to be upholding y'all end of the bargain on a vision.
Yeah.
What I know, I think Jason, you was in it too. I know like a publication, I think ATL Voyage, like
yeah.
which is a very known publication, right? And I think to me, when I look at publications like that, like magazines and something, I care about the content that's in there. You know what I'm saying? So I want it to be full of content. Look at Double XL, the source. It wasn't just filler.
Yeah.
It was full of content. Like every page is hitting on something. So
Yeah.
you could have a name and not be full of content. You know what I'm saying? But you can also be full of content and still working your way up. So I think
Yeah.
it's little by little. You gonna grab more consumers each publication y'all drop.
Yeah.
That's that. I think that's probably the goal. So by next year, this time y'all buy double in consumers than y'all have been before.
Yeah. We want to make sure that the content is relevant and we, you know, for me, I mean, like right now, personally, for me right now, my main thing is to make sure that we are connecting with the right audience.
Right,
And I think like the right audience is I mean, I hate to say millennials. I mean, young people and all that kind of crazy shit. I believe that's who we need to be talking to,
Right.
and hearing from, and really, I see myself as a conduit. I wanted to use that in a sentence today. It's conduit between Benjamin and the folks who've been doing journalism and doing it well for the Black community for years, and younger folks who I mean, I feel like we really need to make those, to forge those connections,
Gotcha.
right? So that we so that younger folks who are looking for answers to questions. Why does our leadership keep doing the same bullshit over and over again?
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't there blankety blankety blank in South Augusta? Why are our schools this way? I think if we use this as a vehicle to force these connections from the same questions that were being asked 10, 15, 20 years ago. Same shit. Same stuff.
South for you.
Same thing. You know, Regency Mall, whatever, Gordon Highway. That's not new.
Right.
And I think if we, once we, you know, make those connections, and then people can see, oh, this is why Regency Mall is a problem. This is why this whole corridor is an issue. It didn't just show up. It didn't just happen.
They've been overlooked. That's
There's
the
a
problem.
reason for that. Some of those things were intentional, and I'm still learning about that stuff now. I mean, as we start to, that's one of the reasons why I really want to do this project, so I could get access to that information, because it's been there, it's been here. I just wasn't paying attention. So it's crazy. I don't know how much time you got, but I just wasn't paying attention. And so now that Benjamin is like, hey, are you willing to do this thing? I'm like, I don't know how to do it, but hell yeah.
I mean, I think so far, like to me, you're doing good. The two I seen was amazing. So I like both of them. The two I seen.
Thank you.
So.
I appreciate that. But I
But-
mean, just like if you,
I assume they're
on-
gonna get thicker
I've
too.
only
so.
I've only seen like, so he sent me like January, February, March in 2011, 2012, 2012. And I'm like, dude, it wasn't a whole lot, but there was information about what the land bank was doing. There was information about, just
Value
I was
information, yeah.
like, yeah.
And this
And
one,
so-
y'all got SBA, the small business stuff. So
Yeah.
that was dope.
Yeah. So yeah, just like having access to that, and not just, because a lot of that stuff, like if you even go to look at like the Chronicle stuff is available. You just got to go look for it. You got to go look for
But
it.
sometimes it could be too wordy for me. I'm not gonna lie.
It
I
is.
can't. I like reading stuff. I gotta keep looking words up. Like, come on, bro.
No, I'm with you. But then but to be able to have it and to intentionally put it in a space where you want to look at it,
Yeah.
and make it make sense.
Right,
Make
right.
it make sense. Why is gentrification still? Well, it's always going to be an issue. But are there ways to work around that, to develop communities where you don't have to displace people? Yes, there are ways. It's been done before.
Yeah.
It's been done before here. But the way that we can talk about this all. we can do this shit all day.
I think
But
like
that's what we want to do with the
what you said in the
with
beginning
paper.
though. You were like how you went to Butler because it kind of felt like home. That's kind of how you are with Urban Pro Weekly. Like it just feel like the right space and place to do the things you want to that you've been wanting to do, but you probably can't do it. You could if Chronicle, you probably couldn't do that. You wouldn't have the same leverage you have now. You wouldn't have the same
Right.
ability to do this, that, and third. You couldn't put a lot of personal in it. It's strictly commercial. Like we want this and
Right.
that's that.
Right.
I even tackle with people that work on the news. Sometimes I think I did a documentary for something, the news one time or something. They asked me to do something, and the lady said that they wouldn't use it because it was something. I forgot what was more important at the time. If you remember, they had these little toys, and they sold them at a gas station, but they sold them right next to like all the drug paraphernalia.
Oh,
And I forgot what it was. I forgot what toy it was. The kids was using, but it was in every gas station, the little mom and pop gas stations. It was being sold right next to like the weed and stuff paraphernalia. So when they buying
snap.
that toy, they looking
Yeah.
right there. It's in the
Oh,
same glass case. So we went into me and Q, the owner of this. Me and him went into like 4 different A&PM stores. Asked them why. They kicked us out pretty much. And all right, cool. I made the video. I sent it to. I said her name, Renetta DeBose. I sent it to her. And well, he sent it to her.
Yeah.
And she was like, they had to me, and they said, and I forgot what it was. But it was something so small, and they like that was. They felt like that was a better look than that. And I said, okay, y'all don't have leverage, but she tried, but they don't have the leverage. You
No,
see
I
what I'm
got
saying?
That article that, but you say he's just a friend, on page
2.
3.
3.
In there, I write for Augusta Family Magazine also, which is a division of Augusta Magazine, which is Morris, which is the Chronicle. So I wrote that, and I submitted that as my whatchamacallit. They said, yeah, we're not gonna do that. But it was
Karen.
because it's about the masters. It's about the way that, and I knew they weren't gonna. I would have been surprised if they would have printed it, but it was very critical of the tournament. So they said, yeah, we're not gonna do that. Can you send us something else? I was like, sure. I had something in the can anyway. I sent it to them, but it was like this is the way we do our community. This is the way that we treat our folks here. And I'm gonna say I dig the Masters because they make a whole blankety blank crap load of money when I make a crap load of money, but I have it, and they contribute to the community, but the reality is that and I gotta tell you, I did some research and I was crunching some numbers because I was going to prove that the Masters don't bring all this money into Augusta, but the fact is, it does. Mm-hmm. So, that didn't work in my favor.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
The friend in this is the friend is Augusta. It seems like this is dope. I like this. I ain't gonna read it all by me. I like this. This is.
It was just like and it's like a legit thing. It was like. You say the friend. You got this friend.
When said Suda announces his visit, my friend gets real extra. I think that's what it was. He said, "You know what? Yeah, we can't do this, Karen. Karen, you're not really being Karen right now, okay?"
Yeah, that was even before like the whole Karen thing. That was like,
oh man.
That was That was when was that? I think I'll have to look it up because it was at least a year and a half ago that I wrote that, and they were like, "No, we're not doing that." Because I was like, everybody's like, and I get it. I mean, and I get it because I make I do well as a musician. I do very well.
Talk your talk.
With the Masters, right? Blah blah blah. I make a bazillion, million dollars. But the fact is, there are folks who feel very differently about it. Mm. It's like, why you cutting the grass now?
Yeah.
We doing this now, and then when we did the thing with the with the tasting and everything. I mean, the tasting of the food and everything. I had bought the doggone food box. Because I wanted to. I wanted to see. I wanted to get an unbiased opinion about what that was, what the food was like. Mm-hmm. I had already bought one, and my girl, whom I referenced in this whole article, she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so good." I was like,
she seen the name. That's what it was. She seen the name on it. She's like, "Oh, this has got to be good."
Yeah,
man, that
She's
shit
like, "Oh,
was.
this is good." No, the barbecue was good.
It was alright. I definitely eat McDonald's over that.
Yeah.
I want to read a little bit of real piece of it. It says,
"Yeah,
I still love her though. We all still love her. After her vacation, we still show up with hugs and wine, listening to stories about things we'll never experience, hearing about how exhausted she is, how she's glad it's over, but knowing that she is counting down the days until next time. We wonder why she doesn't speak to us in such loving terms, because we're here with and for her the other 51 weeks, even as she spends inordinate amounts of time, money, and energy to impress someone who has enough money to buy her affection and adoration, but will never truly appreciate who she really is. We are still here, holding her hair once the glitter has faded and champagne has gone flat." First of all, one top of me not messing up that reading.
One time, Butler High School.
Hey, don't say that too loud. I'm talking about okay. Nah, but I like that though. I like that. I definitely gonna read the whole article when I get off.
But yeah, that's what that was. I was like, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's the challenge is telling speaking the truth. And being able to speak that truth, because like I said, I submitted that to the other publication. They were like, "We're not gonna print that. We're not gonna print that." I was like, "All right, then. I write you something. Okay, so Scooter is 12 years old. He is awesome." Oh man. But yeah.
Well,
that's cool. That's cool.
So we got So this is the 13th today. So the 15th, the next one comes out.
Mm-hmm.
That's Thursday. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm assuming they gotta just hope that it's gonna be online first, but
It'll
the actual physical copies.
Physical copies.
The next day, be Friday.
Yes, because we're going to pick them up late
Thursday.
on Thursday.
Okay.
So they'll be at the libraries, and of course they'll be at Humanitary. There'll always be a Humanitary house. And we're working out, as we open up, we're working on different spaces. But, grocery stores especially.
Okay. I'm going to have to call him and see. I'm going to see if I can get a few. We just put them in here because they get a lot of traffic in here during the day.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be dope.
Yeah.
To have them be able to.
We print at
we got
least.
a Black History calendar right here.
Oh,
I ain't
snap.
seen it in a minute.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap. Okay,
They don't play here, man.
Greenwood. Okay.
Fort Valley University graduate, real HBCU. So
I saw that. I
Yeah,
saw that. Yeah, so we print 2,000 copies, and we don't run out of them. I usually always have some
Cool,
extras
cool.
in the car. So
All right.
So
Well,
we got you.
let them know where they can find you at. They need, to holler at you, get some more Glory Days stories from
from Butler High School,
from Butler High School.
and Davidson and all that. Yeah, you can find me at where I have like 600 websites, and that's not true. 600 emails, but generally speaking, growing.
How many Netflix accounts you got, man? What's going on? How many Netflix accounts you got?
Oh, I just got one. GrowingAugusta.com. That's where I'm at. That'll get you to the Garden City Jazz and the Gordon Music group. We're still doing the garden stuff. We're still trying to make magic and grow food and share with people how they can grow their own food, be their own grocery stores, because that's a real thing. Growing Augusta is arts, agriculture, and agency. So we're supporting artists, we're supporting farmers, and the agency part is just about amplifying voices.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
No
that's
sports.
What we
No
do.
sports. No sports.
You know,
I want to let you know before we get out of here.
sports is
Juan,
cool.
come to the mic real quick. Juan is vegan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know if you can smell it, but it's plant based in the room right now. Can you tell her the last thing
You
you ate
vegan?
before you went vegan, please?
A 444 at Wendy's.
Wait,
was
what
his
is
last
that?
meal.
That was the last thing I ate before I transitioned to being vegan.
How long ago was that?
This was 2017, so 4 years ago.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was 4 years ago. This was December. I want to say December 12th. No, December 8th. December 8th, 2017. Yeah.
Dang, you remember
Yeah.
the date?
Yeah, I had kept the receipt for the longest. I kept it in my wallet, and then I lost it somehow. But yeah.
So what do you eat?
Man, some of everything.
So you cooked it too, right?
Yeah, I do.
You see
Not
that-
all the time.
You see that
but I do,
Amazon
yeah.
box I got right there?
Yeah.
That's what he eat. Box. Everything.
That's what you said. The pieces
Everything
and stuff I
that he
eat, it tastes like that.
It
like,
smells like cardboard. Right?
Oh man. Oh, man. Very
What's your
diverse.
favorite?
Favorite thing? Probably just Mexican food. Yeah, Mexican food. It's really
How do
easy.
you do Mexican vegan?
I
know that's
like
that's
beans.
crazy.
No,
I usually
no.
I can get
No.
black.
Order your food right now from Taco Bell, please. Just act like you
No,
Taco Bell.
my question really is like cheese.
Vegan cheese. I don't really have a particular one yet. I use Daiya. And
Okay, I've heard.
I'm going to I've been picking up Kroger too. The best one I've tasted so far has been the Walmart one because it actually melts like real cheese and it tastes like real cheese, which is crazy. They just came out with it. Yeah,
Which Walmart?
any Walmart. It's over there.
Ain't no
With,
South Augusta
it's over there.
Walmart.
It's over there with the regular cheese. It just says plant based.
Deansbridge Road.
Yeah,
Walmart?
they have it. They have
You
it.
lying.
You got to go to the cheese spot, and then you will see it. It'll blend in with everybody else bag,
Okay.
but it says plant based on it. You got to pay attention to it. And just say
Okay.
it right there. Yeah, I just found out it's a vegan page. I think it's like Vegan Augusta that I follow on there, and they put it in there. And they
Where you stay at? Where you live?
around this area?
Yeah, you live in South Augusta?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm watching you.
Yeah.
Got my eyeballs
He
on
goes
you.
to Taco Bell, spends $12 because he can't eat regular food.
Yeah, when we go to lunch, man. We go on my lunch break. I need something right there and then.
I thought I was picky.
And then I ain't cook, so
He take everything off and put every plant-based thing he could find in there.
yes,
on.
yes, that's what I do. Get
That's
a,
awesome, man.
Black bean crunch wrap.
I love folks who can like make that happen because I tried the vegan reset and the fasting with with Denise back in like January. It lasted for a little while, but I need to do it again. But I was like that whole thing. But I do love chickpeas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they be
I love
it.
that. Chickpeas that's the shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's some real shit. But yeah, okay. So yeah, we gotta keep in touch so you can let me know, what's going on.
I got you.
Okay, I'm watching you.
All right. Well, Morning Message Podcast. All right. We done with Karen for the day.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You can catch me at Country Boys this weekend, getting some steak. All right.
You
Not
better
plant-based
get
at all.
Get you some vegetables.
There you
I will
go.
eat some sweet potatoes. Not sure if that counts,
Vegetables,
but
man. Yeah.
I will eat it like the vegetables.
Yeah, man.
And that's going to be that, man. Morning Message
Yeah.
Podcast, we out. Urban Pro Weekly.
Yep. Thank you.